When you look out over the expanse of Lake Powell, it's hard to imagine this massive desert sea was once the Colorado River. Most people come here to stand on top of the Glen Canyon Dam or walk through the famous slots of Antelope Canyon. But there's a side of this landscape that many never think to see from the water. Today, we're launching onto Lake Powell to navigate the winding canyon corridors of Antelope Canyon. From the massive scale of the historic dam to the glowing reflections of the canyon walls, get ready for a journey most people miss out on. Launching from Wahweap Bay, we chose Antelope Canyon Photography Tour with the Lake Powell Experience. We opted for this 2-hour journey because it uses a smaller boat with fewer passengers. For a photographer, that extra space and comfort made all the difference, giving us the freedom to move around and truly capture the scale of this iconic landscape without the crowds. As we tour the bay, you can't miss the rows of houseboats lining the Wahweap Marina. This is actually one of the largest floating marinas in the U.S., and it's the heart of life here on the lake. While you look at the floating homes, no one actually lives in these permanently. Instead, they are the ultimate way to experience Lake Powell for a full day or for days at a time. Some are privately owned and some are rentable. Check out the little sandstone island on the left. As we make our way toward the Glen Canyon Dam, you really start to feel the history of this landscape. Lake Powell is located in the heart of Glen Canyon National Recreation Area in Page, Arizona. It's a wilderness area managed by the National Park Service. Because it is protected land, there is a fee to enter. However, if you're a frequent traveler like me, you can use your America the Beautiful National Park Pass to get in. It's a small price to pay to give you access to all the national parks for 1 year. It's hard to wrap your head around just how massive this lake is. It covers 250 square miles and has roughly 1,960 miles of shoreline. That's more than the entire west coast of the United States. On today's tour, we're actually only going to experience less than 1% of the lake. It just goes to show how many hidden corners and timeless moments are waiting to be discovered out here.
We started right here in Wahweap Bay at the marina. Right now we're in this little cut right here called Wahweap Creek, and we're going down to the Glen Canyon Dam, which is that little red line. From there we're going to make our way over to Antelope Canyon, which is right here. So we're going to spend 2 hours in this section of the lake, but Lake Powell is all of that. So this is the main channel. This was the Colorado River channel right here, leading all the way up over there. Then we have the Escalante arm and the San Juan arms down there, which are both tributaries into the Colorado River channel. But just putting that into perspective, that it's going to take us 2 hours to see this part of the lake, and there's
Where's Rainbow Bridge?
Right down here.
But can anybody drive there, or
Nope.
just boat?
Yeah, a very unique thing about Lake Powell is the only access to get into the lake is right here and right here. There is no roads or anything for this whole section here.
Throughout the video, you'll see peeks of some of the photos I took. What's the deepest part of the lake? Like how deep is it?
By the dam, it's about 400 feet deep right now. So average depth in the main channel is about 400 feet, but as you go further up lake, it gets a little shallower just because it is essentially going up.
We went in late April and the water was just a little bit chilly, so that's why I have my hoodie on.
But I'm going to speed us up for just a couple minutes and get us over here to the Glen Canyon Dam. Now that we're out, this is the main channel of Lake Powell. So this is the Colorado River. Reason that Lake Powell exists. completely. The Glen Canyon Dam and Lake Powell are not that old in the grand scheme of things, though. The construction period of the Glen Canyon Dam began in 1957. So if we rewind back to then, about 400 feet below us right now would have been the Colorado River running through right here. So once she was completed in 1963, they closed up those diversion tunnels and the Colorado River began to backfill here behind us for 186 miles to create what would become Lake Powell. And that process took 17 years. You can see very distinctly now that we're in the main channel where the high water mark is here at Lake Powell. So if we look up at the tops of these cliffs, the change from the grayish white color to the red, we call that the bathtub ring because that is essentially just a calcium stain on the sides of the walls from where the water used to be. So 1980 was the first time the water was there, and since this is a reservoir, our water levels fluctuate a lot from year to year because all of our water here is from mountain snow runoff from the Rocky Mountains of Colorado. As we sit right now, the reservoir is only at about 32% capacity. Over on our left side here, you can see the east spillway. And you notice how that high water mark was really close to the precipice of the dam over there. It's because in 1983, Lake Powell actually almost overflowed the Glen Canyon Dam.
Oh my goodness. Hearing the details from the guide really puts this dam into perspective. It's one thing to see it from the overlooks above, but being at the base of this massive concrete wall is a complete different experience. If the guide's story sparked your curiosity and you want to learn more about this engineering and the history of this site, I've actually got a full video dedicated to Glen Canyon Dam. I'll have that link in the description below for you to explore after we finish our boat tour. The details of the sandstone cliffs are just amazing. There's no texture alike. Each one is different.
Stop right here just so we can really gain some perspective on how high these cliffs really are, and it makes some kind of nice pictures with the, you know, while we're not bouncing around here on in the water.
Got one piece of rock that's about to fall out of that crack up there.
Yeah, that one right there looks like it's about to slide out.
Yeah, it looks like there's a lot of very precariously placed boulders out here.
Now we're leaving the open waters behind and heading into the winding red rock corridors of Antelope Canyon. If you enjoy traveling America, subscribe to join us for more adventures. There's so much more of this landscape to explore, and I'd love to have you along for the journey.
Okay, welcome to Antelope Canyon. So this is the lowest section of Antelope Canyon, so the very bottom of the drainage here that connects to the main Colorado River channel. So this is the largest section of Antelope Canyon, but this extends over 20 miles. So that's why there's multiple sections of it. We have the lowest section here, and then as I'm sure some of you have done, the upper or lower Antelope Canyon heights.
As you heard from our awesome tour guide, we have entered the majestic Antelope Canyon. Seeing it from the water is a different world compared to the famous slot canyons you explore on foot. These tall walls gradually narrow as you get deeper into this 20-mile canyon, though depending on water level, only about 4 to 10 miles is actually accessible by boat. The way the desert sun hits the Navajo Sandstone creates incredible reflections. But stay tuned, the deeper we go, the calmer the water becomes. That smooth surface is what a photographer dreams of, to get those mirror-like reflections. That's exactly why we opted for the morning tour.
Kayakers help give perspective of the size of the...
As the day goes on, the wake from the passing boats and kayaks makes the water rougher, causing those perfect reflections to fade. But even if you miss the calm water, every turn reveals a new angle of these nature-sculpted walls, beautifully carved over time.
So what kind of fish does this lake have?
Quite a few, but the primary sport fish in here is bass. There's lots of large and smallmouth, but stripers are actually the massive sport fish here because they're actually overpopulated. And so the Fish and Game actually doesn't even have a catch limit on stripers. They pretty much just say if you catch a striper, don't put it back.
The kayakers make great photo subjects. They also help give a perspective of the size of these cliffs.
Getting gator guards? Getting guards?
Not as far as I know. They planted this once in the 70s. Yeah, they have a race here every year in September called Lake Powell Experience.
Oh, is that orange line where the 83 water was?
Yep. Just the top there of the white line where it changes. So as we go back here, you'll be able to really distinctly see like the low water levels are kind of bittersweet in a way. They're bitter because low water means less sustainable resource here in the dry Southwest, but kind of sweet because the lower water levels give us this big dramatic scenery with the big high cliffs.
Accessibility to this canyon changes constantly. It depends on the rainfall and the lake's water levels. New sections may be revealed or hidden, making every visit truly a unique experience.
Yeah, which is surprising because they're so small. So they're the little canyon wrens.
These tall walls are made of Navajo Sandstone. It's incredible to think that these massive structures actually began as vast, shifting sand dunes that eventually hardened into solid rock we see today. While the water is peaceful today, these corridors were actually sculpted by the incredible power of wind and rushing water, carrying out those smooth flowing shapes over time. The canyon was named for the pronghorn antelope that once roamed this area. It's a reminder of how much life this landscape has supported throughout history. It's amazing to realize that the original floor of the canyon is actually far beneath the surface of the lake. It was hidden when the Glen Canyon Dam was completed. And just check out those reflections. I was in complete awe. It was like we was floating on a mirror. It gave me goosebumps.
So sometimes we'll get these big storms that'll come through and they'll drop, a quarter of our annual rainfall in one storm. And yeah, it doesn't mean a lot.
began to feel the fire.
Even the wildlife enjoy this canyon. Check out this beautiful mallard we spotted. He was in the perfect spot with the reflections. Made a great photo opportunity.
So up around this next corner is my favorite part of the canyon. I just love the color contrast. The fall.
Wanna dance to the light, pull the stars from the sky, just two hearts running wild. Never sleep, never stop. Every shot from the top, we're gonna be two hearts running wild.
There's the duck again. As we head back, don't think the tour is over yet. Heading back out gives a completely different perspective. The sun is higher now, hitting the walls differently. Different shadows reveal different textures and colors we missed the way in.
As the hours pass, we're gonna do it all again.
The vibrant reds and oranges of the sandstone come from iron oxide within the rock. The way the light interacts with these minerals is what gives the canyon its glow during the morning hours.
Every shot from the top, we're gonna be two hearts running.
I do highly recommend the smaller semi-private boat tour from Lake Powell Experience. It's a little bit more, but it's perfect because you have more interaction with the guide and don't have to worry about the crowds, and you can get better photos. It's moments like these that remind me why I pick up my camera. There's a stillness here that you just can't find anywhere else. I hope that through these clips you've been able to feel a bit of that peace for you today. If you enjoyed this tour through Lake Powell and Antelope Canyon, please give this video a thumbs up. It really helps our channel to grow. And if you want to join us for more adventures across America, don't forget to subscribe. For those of you who want to see the high-resolution professional photos from today or other locations, you can visit my gallery. I'll have that link for you in the description. Thank you so much for watching, and be sure to check out more of our other videos on screen now to keep the journey going. I'll see you on the next adventure.